From being just the most racist stereotype imaginable,
From now on, I want you to use my Hebrew name.
to straight up pretending to be another.
Irashaimase! Here comes a black guy!
Look guys, there's almost no racial or religious community that Peter Griffin has not offended. So today, I'm gonna tally up every single community, race, ethnicity, and creed this man has managed to piss off over the years. Starting, of course, with the Asians. In the episode, Peter's daughter, Meg, gets severely injured when Peter carelessly sends her to investigate their fridge while their house is flooded.
We gotta get out of here.
Hang on, Lois. There's a case of beer in the fridge. I can't leave that behind. Meg, you're a good swimmer. Go get it.
Unfortunately, she ends up drowning and going unconscious underwater. Although Peter manages to save her, Meg's condition is so severe that he has to rush her to the hospital. Eventually, the doctor stabilizes Meg's condition, and an intern doctor called Michael is assigned to monitor her.
Well, hello, sleepyhead. I'm Michael.
Meg!
Oh my God, Meg, you're okay. Oh, things are gonna be different. No more will I treat you like some kind of alien.
After her encounter with Michael, Meg starts dating the guy. However, Peter gets upset since he's afraid of letting his daughter suffer any more harm. And so he does his best to stalk the two of them just to make sure Michael doesn't try anything funny with his daughter.
I think he's wearing some kind of disguise.
What do you think you're doing?
Peter? Who, Peter?
I said Dad.
Oh.
I think the point of a disguise is to not look like a giant frackin' hat in the middle of a restaurant. Naturally, Asians aren't the only people Peter has ruthlessly stereotyped. He's done it to the Irish as well, who might be his own people, but I'm gonna count it anyway. In the episode Peter's Two Dads, Peter gets drunk at Meg's birthday party. Under the influence of the booze, he takes the role of the party clown. Unfortunately, his dumb circus act turns into a tragedy when Peter loses balance while riding on a unicycle all the way up a staircase.
All right, this is gonna blow you guys away.
Grandpa!
Well, there's the end of that. Poor old Francis Griffin ends up at the hospital, mortally wounded on what should have been a normal grandchild's birthday party. In his final moments, he leaves his son Peter with some wise words to remember him by.
There's something I need to say to you. You're a fat, stinking drunk.
Truly awe-inspiring words. I'm sure they'll haunt Peter forever. And they do, because after some introspection, Peter decides to give up alcohol to avoid hurting any more of his loved ones in the future. This proves to be quite difficult since Peter is quite addicted to the booze. So he starts going to a hypnotherapist who helps Peter analyze his own insecurities to figure out why he relies on alcohol so much.
I'm getting something.
Happy Father's Day, Dad!
I'm not your father.
Maybe Francis was just mad at him that time. Anyway, Peter asks his mom just to make sure he has another dad out there.
Gotta ask you something. Who's my real father?
I knew this day would come. Peter, Mickey is your real father.
Jeez, Peter does have quite the history. Irish dad, born in Mexico and raised in the US. Man's a living human cocktail. Naturally, he flies straight to Ireland after doing a bit of research on where his biological dad might be living, and after arriving in his dad's hometown, Peter heads straight to the place he has the highest chance of encountering a fat Irish drunk, the local pub.
Hey, you heard of a man named Mickey McFinnigan?
He's the town drunk.
Town drunk?
Yeah, that's definitely Peter's dad, but Mickey is as bad a dad as he is good at drinking. So he refuses to accept any responsibility for his son.
Excuse me, sir? Listen, you're my father.
Peter still tries to convince the fat drunkard to give him the time of day, but
I just want to get to know you and be friends. You can't be me, son. You and me are nothing alike.
after getting brutally rejected by his own dad, Peter wonders if his trip to another country was entirely worthless, but that's when his heavenly stepdad steps in to give Peter a brilliant idea.
Peter, you are a fat, stinking drunk.
Wait a minute, Brian, that's it. I'm a fat, stinking drunk because my father is a fat, stinking drunk.
Oh boy, time to see Peter speedrunning one of the biggest Irish stereotypes with his pop.
I challenge you to a drinking contest. Let's drink until the alcohol in our system destroys our livers and kills us.
And as the drinking battle goes on, Peter and Mickey actually start bonding together over a conversation that seems suspiciously advanced for their combined IQs, until Mickey passes out first, giving Peter the victory.
What are you guys over there?
And what better way to celebrate his father's acknowledgement than by singing a song about drunk Irish dad stereotypes. Speaking of European stereotypes, Peter gets a jab at another one in the episode Boop-a-dee Bop-a-dee when Lois convinces him to go on a family trip to Italy. Unfortunately, Peter isn't exactly enthusiastic about the romantic vacation, so Lois heads out of the hotel to explore Italy on her own.
What the hell's she doing with that Italian guy? Hey, Lois, what the hell's going on here?
We're just having fun, Peter.
After getting embarrassed by his wife in front of another man, Peter passes out from shock. Then a bunch of kids strip him of all of his material possessions before Brian finally finds him buck naked in the street. After waking up, Petey decides to take the vacation very seriously to please Lois, so he starts acting like the hottest Italian guy he can think of.
Peter, showing up here in that stupid costume.
That's because you lack the passion of a true Italian.
Lois doesn't quite appreciate her husband's best efforts here, but he keeps trying more Italian couple activities in hopes of changing her mind.
Listen, Lois, I'm sorry for being such a jerk, all right?
Okay, looks like it worked. In fact, it worked so well that Peter and Lois reunite in their bedroom, if you catch my drift, and it gives Peter the idea that perhaps being an Italian family man ain't so bad after all.
Italy is the best thing that ever happened to us. Let's live here. Let's start a new life right here in Italy.
That turns out to be a pretty stupid idea.
Hey, Peter, what's your rush?
Hey, Vincenzo, play me a tune, huh? It's 9 a.m. and I've already kissed 8 guys twice.
They now live in the worst part of town while he makes minimum wage delivering stuff since he isn't actually a legal Italian citizen. As you can imagine, the Italian magic wears off and Lois asks Peter to go back home.
Maybe it's time to go back to our real home in Quahog.
I thought you loved Italian Peter and Southern Italian Peter.
I do, but I love American Peter even more.
And that's the end of that. It isn't easy for the Griffin family to return home to America since a certain genius burnt all their passports, but they managed to sneak their way back anyway. Now, although Peter laid on the Italian stereotypes pretty hard, at least he was in Italy, I guess. Sometimes he doesn't even have to leave the country to offend Italians. All he needs is a mustache.
Brian, let me handle this. Scusi, babidi-boopy?
Peter, what are you doing?
Speaking Italian.
You can't speak Italian just because you have a mustache.
Sono stanco di te,
Now that we're done with European stereotypes, let's pull up the time Peter stereotyped Americans. Native Americans, to be precise. In The Sun Also Draws, Peter heads out on a family trip with everyone. On his way to the vacation zone, he takes a wrong turn and ends up at a casino owned by some Native Americans. Of course, when you're at the casino, there's really only one thing to do. Gambling. And Lois Griffin does exactly that.
I swear I parked here.
Here's the really silly thing, Peter. I sort of bet our car.
So now Peter has to somehow recover his car without a single penny in his hands. After observing how much dough the whole place is rolling in, his sub-40 IQ brain gets the brilliant idea that if he simply acted like he was Native American, the owners would sympathize with him and give him a share of their earnings.
See, I'm an Indian too.
Tell me of your history, of your past.
Off to a strong start there. Come on, Petey, this better be good.
My great-grandfather's name was Jeep Grand Cherokee. I'm just burning, doing the Neutron dance.
As dumb as that may have been, Peter's dumb performance gets them to take him seriously. However, these guys are running a casino. They're no man's fool, and so they decide to put him through the ringer, an ancient cultural test to see if Peter's the real deal.
Your husband must go out in the wilderness without food or water or shoes, and it's got to be a real vision. We're Indians.
Is this a spiritual journey, or is he asking the guy to go delirious while stranded alone?
We're going to know if he's lying.
Peter is obviously not smart enough to see that he's getting scammed, so he takes the tribesman's words to heart and actually accepts the challenge. Lois decides to stop him, at least she tries to, but he don't listen. Since Lois couldn't talk Peter out of it, even Meg tries to save her dumb father from going through any more humiliation than he already has.
Tell him you don't want to be in Scouts.
Hey, Dad, can I come?
Hey, how about it, Lenny?
Right, the more people hallucinating in the wilderness, the better. Let's see how it actually goes.
Must eat. Haven't snacked in hours. Hot enough for you? Hot enough for you. Oh my God, I'm communicating with nature.
To absolutely nobody's surprise, this went exactly how we all expected it would. Anyway, Lois gets worried about Peter back home, and she decides to confront the irresponsible casino owners who just duped her idiot husband and son into throwing their lives away.
How long do these vision quests usually take?
Huh?
You have no idea, do you?
Of course. No.
Surprise, surprise, Native Indians these days are educated folk who don't believe in some kind of primitive tribal myths. Unfortunately, Peter is too far away from anyone sane to hear this lesson from them, so maybe Chris can pull him back to his senses somehow. Anyway, while Chris snoozes away, Peter's thirst and hunger grow, and so does the effect of hallucinations. I mean, his spiritual visions.
Your son needs you to listen to him.
Sure, whatever you say.
Peter actually listens to the guide for once, which allows him to share a special father-son moment with Chris.
Can I talk to you?
Not now, son. Sure.
This is what I really like to do.
Oh, geez, son, why don't you just stick a knife in my heart?
Off to a shaky start, but the two of them start getting along after Peter realizes he needs to pay attention to his son's needs instead of just training him to be the perfect trophy son for showing off to other proud parents. But as the two of them set their differences aside, Peter's hallucinations decide to give him one last challenge.
Oh my God!
Both father and son eventually find their way back to the casino, where they have a bit of catching up to do.
Thank God. Are you okay?
Fantastic, Lois.
And somehow, the sly casino owner actually believes Peter and thinks he's missing out on his own ancestral traditions.
I mean, sure, this casino's brought our tribe money, but what is the price of our souls?
I imagine that shutting down the casino would be a better choice to focus on spirituality, but of course, he's not going to be doing that. At the end of this episode, even the Family Guy writers decided that they should clarify something very important.
Most Native Americans are true to their spiritual heritage.
Oh, gee, really? I had no idea. Anyway, that's another cultural identity pissed off. It's time to move on to the next one. This time, it's going to be Peter's African-American brothers. In the episode, I Am Peter, Hear Me Roar, Peter gets sent to a feminism camp after making some extremely misogynistic jokes at his workplace.
Are you telling jokes? I love jokes.
Oh, all right, then you'll love this one. Why do women have... So you got something to look at while you're talking to them. So you got something to look at while you're talking to them.
Yeah, she heard you the first time, brother. But after coming back from the women's rights education camp, Peter becomes too big of a feminist. In fact, he literally ends up acting like a woman.
Do we still have that pregnancy test?
You can't have a baby.
Well, I don't have a lot of options. I'm Catholic.
Losing her husband hits Lois pretty bad, so she asks Quagmire to help Peter get his masculinity back. And so Quagmire, Joe, and Cleveland take him outside to do some macho, manly activities like attending the Million Man March.
I'd like to say a couple of truths to the men in this audience. Your fault we have so much violence in this country. You should be ashamed.
In Peter's defense, he's an idiot, so I guess this is only accidentally racist. Can't say the same for the episode A Shot in the Dark, though. In that one, Peter accidentally shoots Cleveland Jr.
Step away from that table. Hold it right there.
Even though Peter is usually racist, this time it truly was an honest mistake. Unfortunately, when Peter tries to apologize to Cleveland's family, they all accuse him of shooting their son out of nothing but pure racism.
You wouldn't have fired that gun if he was white. I want this racist arrested.
After this incident, Peter's reputation within his neighbor's black community takes a huge hit. To try to win their favor, he comes up with this genius idea.
What are you doing?
I am going to go to the middle of the town square, paint myself brown.
That's offensive. You can't pretend to be black.
She's right about it being offensive, but dang, Lois, that is too harsh for a guy with 40 IQ trying to correct his mistake. Moving on, it's now time to take a look at the Mexicans. Specifically in the episode Padre de Familia, Peter gets extra patriotic for his country for some reason and decides that his Hispanic brothers don't deserve to share the land with him.
Fosita maluco.
Illegal immigrants taking all the good jobs away from Americans. We are going to keep this town as clean as a Jewish...
This America patriotism completely backfires on Peter since his workplace implements a new rule that requires all employees to prove their identity as legal American citizens. This wouldn't be a big problem since Peter was born and raised in the US, or so we thought. When Peter himself is asked for proof, he asks his own mom for his birth certificate because, of course, a middle-aged family man wouldn't have such an important document for some reason.
Hey, there's a new policy at work where everyone has to prove they're an American, and I need my birth certificate.
You were born in Mexico.
What? I can already see where this is going. Yeah, so it turns out Peter's mom didn't actually want to have him, so she went to Mexico to get an abortion since it would have cost $1.5 billion in the US. But the abortion job was about as high quality as you'd expect, so on comes out little Peter in the land of the very people he now hates. That shouldn't have been an issue since his mom is still an American, but...
Peter, you're an illegal Mexican immigrant.
Stupid as hell. But now he's stuck as a technically illegal immigrant. So after Peter also fails the American citizenship test, he decides to yet again embrace another identity. So after getting kicked out of his old job, he becomes the stereotypical Mexican cleaner.
Housekeeping?
Go away.
I come in anyway. Okay, I clean?
No, get out of here.
I stay and watch?
What do you think?
I know I said stereotypical, but I don't think any motel maid is going to say this.
You drive my grandmother to a doctor's appointment?
No, I'm not doing that.
Housekeeping?
Okay.
Okay.
And after a full day of underappreciated minimum wage work, Peter comes back home exhausted, so Lois gives him a pleasant surprise.
Lois, immigrants don't take handouts.
It's a job. He said you could work at the mansion.
Really?
After Carter takes Peter and his family to live near his house, Peter soon learns the horrors that come with being exploited by a man far above his own social status.
Drink my diabetic blood, Peter, or you're fired.
With just one day of back-breaking, dignity-erasing work, Peter starts feeling the karma of his own American patriotism just a couple of days earlier. Still, he does meet the rest of the illegal immigrants working for Carter, who lend Peter a helping hand.
But Peter, life in America is wonderful.
I don't know, Cheech. It seems like a lot of work for no respect.
With the help of his fellows, Peter cheers up and gains the strength to go back to work. Peter also joins his brothers on the Cinco de Mayo festival one day, but Carter gets upset that his slaves are enjoying themselves instead of wasting their energy on one of his worthless whims.
Do your jobs or I'll deport your lazy asses back to the third world.
Wait a minute, hang on, everybody. This country used to welcome our kind with open arms.
Remembering the true American values his country stands for, Peter rallies his Mexican brothers to confront Carter and protest for their rights.
We are here to take what's ours.
Why would you want to harm a fellow American citizen?
Crafty old coot, I know where he's going with this.
All I have to do is make one call and push your paperwork through.
Unfortunately, even though Peter does his best to try and help the rest of his friends, Carter's friend in Washington doesn't feel like processing so much paperwork, so it's just Peter who ends up getting his citizenship back, and at least he tried.
I want citizenship for everyone here.
That's my only offer. Take it or leave it.
Colors and cultures aren't the only things Peter has claimed and terribly represented. Oh no, he's also tried shoving himself into religious identities, like the time he once decided to be Jewish. In one episode, Lois mentions that Peter once pretended to be a Jew so he could get a day off from work.
Good morning, Hebrews and Shebrews. Hey, how about all those coupons in the Sunday paper, huh?
In another episode, Peter and Lois discover a lump around her armpit during their nighttime activities. Concerned, Lois rushes to the hospital to get her lump diagnosed, where they find a bit of history about Lois's mom.
I didn't realize your mother was a Holocaust survivor.
Oh, no, that's impossible. She's not Jewish.
This just opens up a new can of worms. Peter and Lois visit Carter and Babs so they can confirm if her mom actually went through the tragedy of the Holocaust.
Mom, you're Jewish?
I'm sorry I never told you, dear. Your father made me conceal the fact so he could get into country clubs.
So Grandma Hebrewberg is actually Jewish?
Yes.
After this huge revelation, Lois feels conflicted about her religious identity. However, another member of the family decides that it's time to embrace their Semitic roots.
Shalom, Jews!
Peter, what is all this?
I'm embracing who you are.
I wonder why Peter enjoys being a part of other communities so much. Maybe he was never accepted by his own. Anyway, Lois tries to explain that he can't just become Jewish in one day just because her mom's Jewish.
I'm the one with the Jewish heritage, and I really don't want to make a big deal out of this.
Of course, Peter doesn't just stop at merely dressing like a stereotype. He decides it's time for the family to start hitting the synagogue every day. When it's time for Peter to share the bed with Lois, he pulls out this banger to spice up their time together.
I picked out a sexy little Jewish outfit for you at the store. If you put on this long, thick dress right now, I will lose it.
Anyway, it seems like the writers wanted an excuse to take Peter out of his Jewish spell, so they bring back his dead dad, who reminds him that he's essentially abandoning his old Christian roots.
Peter! If you forsake your religion, you'll spend eternity in hell.
And just like that, Peter's Jewish episode comes to an end. In fact, his dad's words inspire him for Christianity so much that Peter's personality takes a full 180, but that's a story for another day, so I'm going to move on to another religious identity Peter decided to adopt. In the episode The Father, the Son, and the Holy Fawns, Francis, who is still alive at this point of the show, takes Stewie to the church to forcefully get him baptized.
I baptize you in the name of the Father and the Holy Ghost.
What are you doing?
This experience leaves Stewie completely traumatized, so Lois wonders why Peter didn't step in as his father. Peter explains that he was afraid of doing something against his dad's religion, so Lois reminds him that he can use his own dang free will and believe in a religion he actually wants to.
You're a grown man. You can pick any religion you want.
Maybe I should pick my own religion.
As you can imagine, he becomes a Mormon.
I'm gonna be a Mormon.
A Mormon? Are you sure?
Oh, Lois, this is Kimmy, Nancy, and you know Tiffany.
Oh yes, Peter, so spiritual and religious. You should definitely stay Mormon since it's bringing you so much joy.
Give me a beer.
Mormons aren't allowed to drink alcohol.
Peter, did you just throw those women away?
Maybe.
And that's the end of that. It's time for Peter to select another religion as his prey. This time he targets the peaceful Hindus, since he's got nothing better to do.
Starts with an unfettered, focused mind.
Look out! Oh, I thought that dot on your head was from a sniper rifle.
Get out.
Yeah, that didn't last long. Eventually, Peter goes completely bonkers and founds his own church called the Church of Fawns, which is a can of worms I'm not opening in this video. Anyway, we got another community Peter offends, and this time it's the Muslim community. So in the episode Turban Cowboy, Peter goes skydiving.
The Eiffel Tower? Oh, cool, I'm in Paris. Ah, crap, I'm in Vegas.
And that's the end of his skydiving career. After being saved from the giant pole, Peter ends up in the hospital for surgery on whatever he tore there. Once the surgery is done, Lois leaves to take care of the kids at home. That leaves Peter alone in the ward with a very special fellow patient.
Now that your family is gone, would you mind if we turn on the TV? I am Mahmoud.
I'm Peter.
So Peter and Mahmoud quickly become friends, and after a couple of weeks, both of them recover from their injuries and gets discharged from the hospital. As soon as Peter gets out, he of course heads to the Drunken Clam so he can catch up with his best buddies Quagmire and Joe. To their surprise, Mama joins them at the table.
Hello, how are you?
Have a seat. Any friend of Peter's is a friend of ours.
Which Spanish chick has better jugs?
I am married.
What?
Although the Muslim guy seems friendly, Quagmire and Joe are weirded out by his foreign views, but both Brian and Peter jump to defend their new friend.
No, he's weird. Why do you order a ginger ale?
Yeah. You guys are uncomfortable with Mahmood because he's Muslim.
What?
This is your post-9/11 racism talking.
Since Quagmire and Joe are clearly uncomfortable with Mahmood around, Peter simply accepts his invitation to hang out in a pub that's more culturally aligned with Mahmood's views. It seems like a normal hangout at first. Peter gets to smoke a hookah, have some Arab cuisine, normal stuff like that. But then he sees something that makes him completely change his views on Islam.
I need you to run an errand for my friend Peter.
Of course.
That was amazing. She just listened to everything you said.
In Muslim culture, wives are much more obedient.
Okay, does that mean...
Oh, wait, that's awesome. You, sir, have got yourself a Muslim.
Peter ends up so pleased with Mahmood's culture, in fact, that Peter starts dressing exactly like him and adopts his own imagined version of Muslim behavior.
Why are you dressed like that?
Well, Lois, I happen to be a Muslim now, which means I'll be spending a lot of my time in mostly empty cafes. Yes, the team I like is kicking it.
It don't just stop there. Peter keeps going, buying dates and goodness knows what else.
He has 6 cobras, a bolt of silk, and a ram's horn. Hey, can you help me with the 20 paper bags of dates I got in the car?
I'm sorry, are we talking about Muslims, or did you get magically transported into Disney's Aladdin? He also continues his frequent hangouts with Mahmood. Once the two of them get closer, Mahmood gives Peter a special invitation to deepen their friendship even more.
We wanted to invite you to join us.
O-M-A.
That does not look like your usual hangout with the boys, but of course Peter isn't smart enough to realize what he's being dragged into. Thankfully, he brings up this experience to Quagmire and Joe. Maybe they can knock some sense into his thick skull.
Suspicious.
What?
I'm talking about Mahmood. You know, I actually feel really bad for him. You know he knew 19 guys who died on 9/11? I mean, what are the odds?
I think you joined a terrorist sleeper cell.
That's crazy. I'm gonna call Mahmood right now on this cell phone he gave me. Damn phone's busted.
Now that Peter knows his friend might be a national threat, Quagmire and Joe devise a plan to infiltrate Mahmood's group. They set Peter up to spy on them and hopefully get enough information to stop them from carrying out their attack, but they also pick the worst possible spy, so good luck with that.
Yes, I have a question. When exactly are we doing the bombing?
The attack will happen tomorrow during afternoon rush hour. And that's actually where you come in, Peter. To get past the checkpoint at the toll plaza, we will need an American behind the wheel to arouse the least amount of suspicion.
Can you repeat all that? I just had an itch right by my microphone.
He's wearing a wire.
Yeah, Peter's screwed. However, he gets to stick around for a bit since Mom had actually forced him to carry out the attack instead of just getting rid of him.
Okay, you're good to go.
Pull over up here.
And although Peter tries to convince Mama to spare his innocent American citizens around them, the radicalized man refuses to give up on his elaborate plan. That's when Joe finally appears on the scene to save the day and possibly dozens of lives.
Hold it right there! Mahmood, you're under arrest.
Joe, I drove a van.
So yeah, even though Peter went in with a good heart, he just learned from the wrong guys and wound up in a horrible situation. It's all good though, because at least he survived. There's always next time to offend another race, right? Or religion. In total, Peter has claimed 10 different racial and religious identities, that I know of, offending all of the communities he disgraced with his presence. What do you guys think? Was he funny or just being offensive? Let me know in the comments below, and as always guys, thank y'all very much for watching.